Oh, yeah, he would just go off on that.
He will.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the School District of Springfield Township Board of School Directors Interim Board Meeting, August 1st, 2017. We had an executive session prior to this meeting to discuss personnel and litigation. Let's please all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Reading of the mission statement. The mission of the School District of Springfield Township is to educate and develop all students as learners and citizens who are high-achieving, resilient, and responsible in a changing global community. Roll call.
Mr. Chapman? Here. Ms. Casales?
Here.
Mr. Lapidus? Ms. Nelson? Here. Mr. Rayer? Ms. Sarsfield? Here. Dr. Taratuski? Here. Mr. Taylor? Ms. Lipinski?
Here. Number 6, announcements. The board, at its discretion, may videotape all or any portion of public board meetings subject to the limitations set forth in Policy 006.2, broadcasting of meeting. Board meetings will be broadcast on Friday afternoon following the board meeting. Are there any public comments on agenda items? Next, we will have the administrative report by Dr. Nancy Hacker.
Just a brief report. We are finalizing the interviews tomorrow morning for our middle school principal and hope to have at least a couple of finalists out of this last round of interviews before we set up a final interview for those finalists. And once we accomplish that, we will hopefully have all of our vacant administrative positions filled, so we'll be ready to start the school year, hopefully with some new administrators in place, 2 of whom are here this evening, and we'll be happy to introduce them shortly. We're also gearing up for the start of the school year. When August comes, it's like a steamroller, and we're getting ready, and we're looking forward to the start of a new school year. It's always a very exciting time for all of us. And as many of you may know from driving by on Paper Mill Road, we have a lot of progress that's taking place with our track and also with our new stadium turf. So we're looking forward to home football games starting sometime after the middle of September. Thank you.
Next, we will have reports of committees. I will be giving a property committee report. The property committee met on Tuesday, July 25th. We got to see the latest renderings of our new early learning center, which is our K-2 building, presented by the architect. It's very exciting. And we can't wait to have a formal showing of the renderings of that building. It's going to be a great addition to this district. We spent a lot of time talking about it with the architect, so we appreciated their time as well. We discussed the high school renovations. We went through several change orders. We changed the track color. We need to replace the light poles and the light pole electrical conduit relocation. We're going to be replacing the sand pit, and we are considering replacing the drain covers. And then we talked about the PDE preliminary approval of Plan Con 20-year waiver. Then we moved on to the K-2 new elementary. There was a site traffic study report performed. It's now being evaluated by PennDOT. There were some recommendations made, and it will be PennDOT who will be making a final decision as to what changes are needed in regard to the elementary building site. We had an Antonelli update. The administration held a meeting on June 19th with the neighboring residents on of the Antonelli grounds. They discussed their concerns at length. They walked the site to show the layout of the footprint of the new building and there have been modifications made to the site plan to address some of the issues that were discussed. We also discussed, there is a motion on the agenda tonight. The administration is asking permission to approve change orders that come up unexpectedly to meet project timelines and avoid delays. For example, if something should come up in between board meetings that they need to make a decision on to keep the project moving forward, as long as the change order is less than $10,000, we're asking the board to approve that the business administrator can make that decision, and then we will vote on it at the next board meeting. We got some updates on summer projects. The bus garage macadam replacement project is 95% complete. The high school auditorium roof project is 70% complete. The middle school cafeteria floor replacement project is 50% complete. We had a few change orders as they started removing the floor. They saw additional problems that needed to be fixed. And the high school library carpet replacement project is 50% complete. The high school auditorium lighting project is in progress, and the high school pool regrouting project is 95% complete. So we are good with our summer projects now that we're coming up on the start of school already. And that is it for the property committee meeting. Does anybody have any questions or comments? Okay, thank you. Now we will move on to new business. Number 1, personnel attachment. Recommended motion: the Board of School Directors approves the following personnel as presented in the attachment: administrative personnel, confidential personnel, certificated personnel, support personnel, temporary personnel, extended school year program personnel, extra pay for extra responsibilities, conference workshop attendance. Is there a motion? Is there a second? Any questions or comments? Sure.
Mr. Chapman? Aye. Ms. Casalis? Aye. Ms. Nelson? Aye. Ms. Sarsfield? Aye. Dr. Teretuski? Aye. Ms. Lipinski?
Aye. Number 2, middle school assistant principal. Recommended motion: the Board of School Directors approves the transfer of Jason Payne from the position of high school assistant principal to middle school assistant principal effective August 2nd, 2017. Is there a motion? Is there a second? Second. Any questions or comments?
I have a question. It's not noted here what his new salary will be as middle school assistant principal.
It's the same. His salary does not change.
Mr. Chapman? Aye. Ms. Casalis? Aye. Ms. Nelson? Aye. Ms. Sarsfield? Aye. Dr. Teretuski? Aye. Ms. Lipinski?
Aye. Number 3, high school assistant principal. Recommended motion: the Board of School Directors approves the transfer of Scott Zeragan from a high school teacher to a high school assistant principal effective August 15th, 2017, at a salary of $108,000, prorated accordingly. This appointment is contingent upon Mr. Zeragan meeting all statutory requirements. Is there a motion? Second? Second. Any questions or comments?
Mr. Chapman? Aye. Ms. Casalis? Aye. Ms. Nelson? Aye. Ms. Sarsfield? Aye. Dr. Teretuski? Aye. Ms. Lipinski?
Aye.
So we have Mr. Scragan here with us this evening. Scott, if you don't mind standing, we just want to congratulate you and welcome you. Welcome to our administrative team. We're looking forward to having you in your new role. We know how outstandingly successful you've been in the last 21 years as not only a high school science teacher here at Springfield Township High School, but also as our department chair in the area of science. So we know that you bring a really strong background in terms of the sciences, and as Chuck Rittenhouse likes to say, you're probably the best instructional leader at the the high school. He thinks very highly of your teaching abilities. So, better words couldn't be heard about your ability. And we understand you're going to be Dr. Scragan, hopefully after December.
Hopefully, yes.
So that's one more milestone this year for you. So good things are happening. Is there anything you'd like to say?
I just want to say thank you for this opportunity to share my abilities with everybody. I'm really looking forward to moving into a different role with the school, but bringing Springfield, keep moving forward. I'm hoping that I will be able to continue my role as a mentor here, also to encourage more co-teaching. It's kind of one of my, baby projects, so to speak, and kind of encourage that with more people to do that as we move forward. So I'm looking forward to a great year, it's a great team, and I just want to thank you for that opportunity.
Okay. Number 4, high school assistant principal, recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the appointment of Daniel Ortiz to a high school assistant principal position effective August 16th, 2017, at a salary of $116,000 prorated accordingly. This appointment is contingent upon Mr. Ortiz meeting all statutory requirements. Is there a motion? Motion. Is there a second? Second. Any questions or comments? Sir?
Mr. Chapman? Aye. Ms. Caselas? Aye. Ms. Nelson? Aye. Ms. Sarsfield? Aye. Dr. Teretuski? Aye. Ms. Sapinski? Aye.
So Dan, congratulations to you as well. We're very happy to have you on board as a Springfield Spartan, and there is a tradition of having Spartans in your family. Your mom was a beloved kindergarten teacher here in the district, so you will be continuing the wonderful tradition that Ann Ortiz established, having served us as well as she did for so many years. We are hoping that you too will be with us for a number of years. We're thrilled to have you on board, and we're very happy to have your energetic family here this evening. We hope you have as much energy running around the building as your son does. And would you like to say a few words as well?
Sure. First, thank you very much to the school board and to Dr. Hacker for this great opportunity. I couldn't be more proud to join the Spartan team. And as Dr. Hacker said, family means a lot to me. My kids were very excited to be here, as you can see, and certainly the big shoes that my mother left with her work at Penfield, I'm hoping to continue for years to come. There's been a great tradition of success throughout all of Springfield Township School District. I'm just hoping to learn from the great leaders who we have here. Dr. Rittenhouse and I have worked together at Upper Dublin in the past, and I'm hoping to learn from the great team that already exists and hopefully contribute something additional. So thank you very much, and I couldn't be more thrilled. So thank you.
Thanks, Dan. We're very thrilled to have you a part of the Spartan family, and Scott in your new role as well. And Dan, I know that it's bedtime probably for the kids, so if you and your family would like to put the children to bed, you're welcome to do so at this point.
I appreciate everybody's flexibility.
Or you could stay and hear all of the rest
All
of
of our
the
wonderful
exciting
motions.
motions that we have still to go, about, 10 more. All right, we're going to keep moving here. Number 5, policy 823, naloxone, am I saying that right? Okay, naloxone, second reading, recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the second reading of policy 823, naloxone, attachment A. Is there a motion? Is there a second? Any questions or comments? Sure.
Mr. Chapman? Aye. Ms. Caselas? Aye. Ms. Nelson? Aye. Ms. Sarsfield? Aye. Dr. Teretuski? Aye. Ms. Sapinski?
Aye. Number 6, policy 626, finances, second reading. Recommended motion, the Board of School Directors approves the second reading of policy 626, finances, attachment B. Is there a motion? Motion. Is there a second? Second. Any questions or comments?
Mr. Chapman? Ms. Caseles? Ms. Nelson? Ms. Sarsfield? Dr. Teretuski? Ms. Lipinski?
Aye. Number 7, Policy 626.1, Travel Reimbursement, Federal Programs, second reading. Recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the second reading of Policy 626.1, Travel Reimbursement, Federal Programs, Attachment C. Is there a motion? Motion. Is there a second? Second. Any questions or comments?
Mr. Chapman? Aye. Ms. Caseles? Aye. Ms. Nelson? Aye. Ms. Sarsfield? Aye. Dr. Teretuski? Aye. Ms. Lipinski?
Aye. Number 8, Employment Agreement. Recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the employment agreement with Lauren Patterson Davis as the Supervisor of Educational Services effective July 1st, 2017 through December 31st, 2017 at an hourly rate of $63.86 per hour. Is there a motion? Motion. Is there a second? Second. Any questions or comments?
Mr. Chapman? Aye. Ms. Caseles? Aye. Ms. Nelson? Aye. Ms. Sarsfield? Aye. Dr. Teretuski? Aye. Ms. Lipinski?
Aye. Number 9, Confidential Settlement and Release Agreement. Recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the confidential settlement and release for student 2017-0801-01. Is there a motion? Is there a second? Second. Any questions or comments?
Mr. Chapman? Aye. Ms. Caseles? Aye. Ms. Nelson? Aye. Ms. Sarsfield? Aye. Dr. Teretuski? Aye. Ms. Lipinski?
Aye. Number 10, LifeWorks School. Recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the agreement between UHS of Doylestown LLC, referred to as Foundations, and operating the LifeWorks School and Springfield Township School District for the 2017-2018 school year as per the Attachment D. Is there a motion? Is there a second? Any questions or comments?
Can I just ask a question? Is this for a particular student or just an ongoing
It's
placement option?
ongoing, just in case.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chapman? Aye. Ms. Caseles? Aye. Ms. Nelson? Aye. Ms. Sarsfield? Aye. Dr. Teretuski? Aye. Ms. Lipinski?
Aye. Number 11, Abington Speech Pathology Services, Inc. Recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the updated contract with Abington Speech Pathology Services, Inc., effective August 1st, 2017, to provide services, speech, OT, PT, psychologist, teacher of deaf and hard of hearing, to the school district on an as-needed basis, Attachment E. Is there a motion? Is there a second? Any questions or comments?
Just curious to know how we decided to use Abington Speech and not be part of the consortium or arrangement with the IU?
The intermediate unit doesn't sell speech and language services or OT or PT in this county.
Oh, thank you.
Mr. Chapman? Aye. Ms. Caseles? Aye. Ms. Nelson? Aye. Ms. Sarsfield? Aye. Dr. Teretuski? Aye. Ms. Lipinski?
Aye. Number 12, Extended School Year Agreement with Wordsworth Academy. Recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the agreement between Wordsworth Academy and Springfield Township School District for student 2017-0801-02 for the Extended School Year Program. Is there a motion? Motion. Is there a second? Second. Any questions or comments?
Mr. Chapman? Ms. Casalis? Ms. Nelson? Ms. Sarsfield? Dr. Teretosky? Ms. Lipinski?
Aye. Number 13, Adobe Enterprise License, recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the consortium member Adobe Enterprise License Agreement for a 3-year period in the amount of $6,250. Is there a motion? Is there a second? Any questions or comments?
Mr. Chapman? Ms. Casalis? Ms. Nelson? Ms. Sarsfield? Dr. Teretosky? Ms. Lipinski?
Aye. Number 14, High School Stadium Change Order, recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the change order with National Energy Solutions, Inc. to replace the light poles at the high school stadium in the amount of $78,800. Is there a motion? Is there a second? Any questions or comments?
Is there something wrong with the light poles? I drive by there, I see that they're working, so I don't know.
It's not the lights themselves, it's the plates at the base, which are defective, and there's been a recall that was issued in 2010, but unfortunately, the company is no longer in existence, so we're concerned for safety reasons.
Thank you.
Mr. Chapman? Ms. Casalis? Ms. Nelson? Ms. Sarsfield? Dr. Teretosky? Ms. Lipinski?
Aye. Number 15, High School Stadium Electrical Services, recommended motion. The Board of School Directors approves the invoice from Weiss Electrical Contractors to relocate PVC electrical conduit currently located in the area of the new rain garden at the high school stadium in the amount of $3,895. Is there a motion? Is there a second? Any questions or comments?
Mr. Chapman? Ms. Casalis? Ms. Nelson? Ms. Sarsfield? Dr. Teretosky? Ms. Lipinski?
Aye. Number 16, Administration Change Order Approval, recommended motion. The Board of School Directors, desiring to meet project timelines and avoid delays, authorizes the business administrator in consultation with the superintendent and the director of operations to approve change orders equal to or less than $10,000. All such approvals will be presented to the full board for ratification on the agenda of the next public meeting. Is there a motion? Is there a second? Any questions or comments?
Mr. Chapman? Ms. Casalis? Ms. Nelson? Ms. Sarsfield? Dr. Teretosky? Ms. Lipinski?
Aye. Number 17, School Construction Reimbursement Waiver, recommended motion. The Board of School Directors requests that PDE approve the resolution for a variance from the PlanCon 20-year rule concerning the high school construction project. Is there a motion? Is there a second? Any questions or comments?
Can you just explain this, please?
So typically, when high schools go through, or any school for that matter within the district goes through a renovation project or a building project, there has to be a period of at least 20 years before you can resubmit to the Pennsylvania Department of Education PlanCon for reimbursement. We're requesting a variance from that because we're within the 20 years since previous renovations were done here at the high school. And generally, the department, if you meet all of the criteria they establish, will okay the variance and therefore allow us to get reimbursed for aspects of the project.
Is there any possibility that they would not approve?
There's always a possibility.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chapman? Ms. Casalis? Ms. Nelson? Ms. Sarsfield? Dr. Teretosky? Ms. Lipinski?
Are there any public comments on non-agenda items? Future meeting dates, school board meeting, Tuesday, August 15th, 2017, at 7 PM in the Freeze Memorial Lobby. Interim board meeting, Tuesday, September 5th, 2017, 7 PM, Freeze Memorial Lobby. And with that, we are finished. Thank you, everyone, and have a good night.